Horror video sent to Putin, Chechen commander was killed in a flash, Russian troops were terrified. A Chechen unit commander was killed on camera as he was reporting live from a battle in Ukraine. Chechens are currently fighting with the Russian army as Vladimir Putin attempts to take control of the Donbass region. Ramzan Kadyrov, Chechny's ruthless ruler, is a staunch ally of the Russian president and has fully supported the war against his western neighbor. Russian state media estimated that some 12,000 Chechen volunteers have been recruited to fight for Moscow. In the TikTok clip, the Chechen commander boasts about how his troops have successfully carried out their military mission against Ukrainian forces. He rates the performance of his team as 5+ and claims only one of their number was injured. At that very moment, a shell can be seen and heard exploding next to the commander, with the live broadcast brought to an abrupt halt. Social media users speculated that his mobile phone signal may have made him an easy prey for a targeted missile attack. One wrote, "That thing was basically giving anyone watching with the right equipment a 10-digit grid to his location." He basically called that round in on himself. The Chechens have a reputation for brutality and have faced repeated accusations of committing war crimes. The war in Ukraine has presented Kadyrov with a perfect opportunity to prove both his loyalty and ongoing usefulness to Putin. The Chechen leader owes his position and power to the Kremlin, which bankrolls his regime. In exchange for ensuring stability in Chechnya, Kadyrov receives huge subsidies from Russia's federal budget. However, in recent years a decline in violence and insecurity in the region has led some inside Putin's administration to question whether Moscow should be sending the Chechen strongman so much money. Kadyrov has proved a useful Kremlin tool in eliminating internal political dissent in Russia over the years. Chechen forces are suspected to be involved in the assassination of the leading opposition figure, Boris Nemtsov. His commander in Mariupol, Ruslan Jeremayev, is believed to have organized the cold-blooded shooting of the opposition leader right by the Kremlin walls in 2015. Jeremayev was injured in late March while fighting Ukrainian forces in Mariupol. Experts believe that Kadyrov's militias are an integral part of Moscow's psychological war on Ukraine. Orly Campana, an expert in political violence and Russia, wrote on the Conversation website, "The announcement of the entry into the war of Kadyrov's troops and the propaganda that surrounds it are part of this effort to destabilize the enemy. They are known for their cruelty. Involving Chechen troops serves to fuel fear within the Ukrainian population." Putin on the brink. Russia fell into a terrible civil war, the Chechens took over power. Vladimir Putin is leading Russia towards a total collapse and civil war, according to a Federal Security Service agent. The FSB insider also claimed that the Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov will exploit the ensuing political chaos to create an Emirate of the Caucasus on Russian territory. Russian forces have launched a new offensive in Ukraine's eastern territories, as Putin strives to take control of the entire Donbass region. The Ukrainian army continues to put up fierce resistance and is currently succeeding in slowing the Russian advance from the east. Kiev's forces are carrying out tactical retreats and launching their own counterattacks in the Kharkiv region, inflicting heavy losses on the Russian invaders. In a letter to the Russian human rights campaigner, Vladimir Osechkin, the FSB agent predicts Putin's army will fail in achieving its objectives in the battle for the Donbass. This in turn will have serious political and security consequences for Putin and ultimately could lead to the breakup of Russia as a unified country. The security agent said, "The current reality leaves the country with two options. The first is a total collapse due to the full set of all wrong actions taken together. The second is a civil war." He argues that the Chechen leader is fully aware of the possibility of civil war breaking out and is carefully gathering his forces, patiently waiting for the opportunity to exploit the ensuing political turmoil to realize his long-cherished ambition of creating an Emirate of the Caucasus. The insider explained, "There is reason to believe that Kadyrov is not only aware of the inevitability of a civil war in Russia, but is actively playing along the lines of a potential split. Kadyrov himself does not care about Ukraine, the Donbass, and this entire war. He has gone beyond these limits, he is already thinking in a different reality." The Chechen strongman has sent some of his troops to fight along with Russian forces in Ukraine. A report on Russian state TV claimed that as many as 12,000 Chechens had traveled to Ukraine to fight in the war. However, the FSB insider said these were not Kadyrov's elite forces but were simply some Chechen volunteers, employees of law enforcement agencies, etc. He continued, Kadyrov will become the main beneficiary of the military failure of the Russian armed forces. In the upcoming Donbass meat grinder, he is guaranteed to keep his forces intact, while in any outcome of the battle, the rest of the Russian forces will be heavily drained and exhausted. In general, Kadyrov cannot but realize that after the Donbass battle, he will retain the most powerful and combat-ready military force in the country. But then a big turmoil can begin, in which everything will be incomprehensible. He added, by all indications, Kadyrov, like no one else, is preparing for this particular point. Everything else is informational tinsel, designed to hide his true plans. The FSB agent concluded by heavily criticizing Putin, accusing him of sacrificing everything for the sake of his political ambitions. He wrote, the culmination of the Russian problem has now been created personally by Putin, already by the fact that he puts his political demands above any expediency, military, social, economic. We do not have a strategy.